All right, Harry. Today we're going to read Matthew chapter 20. It's about the parable of the workers in the vineyard. Maybe you could help us out and let us know, what is a parable again?
Okay, a parable is an earthly story with a spiritual meaning. So that story goes about a landowner who hires people to work on his grapevine. He went out at 7 a.m. to hire day laborers at the local labor pool for the standard day's wage of 1 denarius. But he wanted more help. At 9, he went to the market and hired those available. Again at noon, and at 3, and at 5. And he asked them, "Why are you still standing here?" No one answered. "No one hired us," they answered. At quitting time, they were all paid 1 denarius. Justin, is that fair?
From looking at it in like an outside perspective, right? If I was working really late, I'd be like, this isn't fair. Like I just worked this all these hours compared to this other person, but if we're getting paid the same, what's up with that? But what are your thoughts? Do you think it's fair?
Well, that's what he agreed to, so he could pay whatever he wanted to. And so is that how God does it?
I believe so. God does give us we all get this gift of eternity promised to us, whether or not we come to work it for Him at the beginning of our life or the end of our life.
Yeah. So let's compare it to today. When is the best time to start our walk with Jesus? At age 16, 36, 56, or 76?
For sure, definitely 16. What a privilege that would be to be able to walk with God your whole life, right?
Yeah. Millions of people have chosen to do it later. Does that work?
Most of the time, if they have the choice and they choose later, they're like, oh, I'll deal with the God issue later. I think they've missed the whole point. Like, today, if we hear God's voice, don't harden your hearts, because sometimes these opportunities don't come the next day.
In the story, did the people tell the farmer to come back later?
No, they didn't. They were ready and eager to work right away as soon as the work was
Yeah.
offered to them.
Yeah. Later doesn't always work. What is the advantage of doing it later and it doesn't turn out that way? So let's
Mhm.
go to another example. We know that walking with God is hard, right?
Oh, for
We
sure.
also, yeah, and we also know that married life is hard, just as a comparison. Keeping a spouse happy, all the bills, raising kids, more bills, health, family, economic issues. Isn't it better to do that later? Is that
No, of
fair?
course, you want to get it under your belt right away, right?
Yeah, so let's go back to Jesus. When we come to Jesus, we become the bride of Christ, truly a marriage made in heaven, truly a beautiful, perfect life. How long should we put that off?
We shouldn't put it off at all. Really,
Uh,
just accept it right away.
yeah, it's a privilege, a super
Hmm.
privilege, the biggest privilege we can find.
Imagine you
Back
get
to,
love, joy, and peace right away. Like it's
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah. And so then go back to the workers on the grape farm, those hired early. They had the advantage. They knew they were good. All day long, they
Mm,
knew they're going to feed the family that night. They're going to have
mm,
food for the table. Mama's happy. The kids are happy. It's all good.
mm.
Also, for those who have Jesus walking with him, we say, bring it on. We're good. Yeah, it doesn't matter what happens now. We're in a good spot. And that's such a privilege. So, yeah, if we're settled, beautiful.
Amen. Thanks a lot for this, Harry.
Thank you.